Alright, hey, what's going on? Vinyl community, good evening. Sitting in this room tonight, because the other room is a mess. Main record room. So I'm sitting over here with some of my box sets and some books. Hope everyone's doing well out there tonight. So I've been teasing a sort of roundup of all my mega wants that I've been able to secure in 2021 so far. So I thought this would be a fun way to do it. I've been hard hunting on these records this year, and I've been purging records. I have been still acquiring plenty of other new things, but I have been selling a whole bunch to build up some cash and some capital to buy some of these babies right here. Worked out a few deals, make offers accepted. In any case, really happy with some of these records I got here. Now these are primarily Psych and some avant-garde jazz, so that's what you're in store for today. Before I show you what I got, I just want to give a thanks and a shout out to Motorwork 247, Local Bandography, Digital Gramophone, Noted and Archived, Norman Maslov, Noble Records, Psychedelic Snow, Tales from the Crate, John Coltrane 68, Julius Jabbar, Steve Carlson, Lova Landrew, Fat City Vinyl, Vinyl Richie, Dots and Loops, Psychedelic, Static Traveler, and Stunt Rock Confusion. Thank you for doing such good videos and making sure that this is what I spend my money on all the time. Records, baby. Thank you guys. Seriously, you guys do been holding me to task here. Alright, let's get going with these. Yes, these are Grails, I guess. So this first one is some Rural Psych, and it's a band I've been following, and a record I've been following for a few years. Psychedelic Snow showed the compilation. I got this a couple months back. I've been meaning to show it, but I've been absorbing it. And this is Spur of the Moment, private release on the Cinema label. And this is some pretty fine country rock with plenty of psychedelic flourishes. I meant to research a couple of things on them, but they do a few odd things on this record, like medleys with Rock Phase 50, track 3 on the first side. They put a whole bunch of different covers together, and they really screw around with them, and pretty awesome, I think. I just love this purple sleeve too. You don't see a lot of purple sleeves, I guess, right? The B-side, I think, is where this record really gets strong. This is from 1970, out of Ohio, I believe it is. They would actually also do another record with a priest. It's called, I forget the name of it, I'll put a picture of it, but it's that priest doing sort of spoken word, trying to be hip, over Spur, this band, doing the backing. There's some records like that I could get into, because they're absurd, and sometimes they work out. I sample a little bit of that line. It does not work out, but and it's not inexpensive either. So that's Spur, great Rural Psych country rock record. A bit of the Byrds, a bit of country funk, the band, a bit of International Submarine Band, that kind of style, but a little bit more on the rock side of things. All right, this next one I did show already, so I'll just show it quick. This indeed was a big want for me. The Neighborhood Children on ATTA, self-titled, their one and only record. And it is sounding good. I've played it a few times now. Wasn't, like I said in the other video, not quite to the expectation I wanted, but I'm happy to have this one. Neighborhood Children on ATTA 1968, as I discussed. So this next one, I do have a fellow VC member to thank. Dave, Local Bandography. Thanks, dude. He sent me a quick Instagram message. We were with a bunch of friends at like a barbecue in a fire pit area. Alice Coltrane, Pita the Al Daoud. This is the one and only few times I've mentioned the one Impulse record I really needed still. by Alice. I have all the other Impulses. So he sent me a quick Instagram message, be like, hey, check the Grave Face, the store in Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, the label and store. He said their Instagram just posted a picture of this in the video, a flip video. And I went, and sure enough, as I looked through, I saw it. I called them up. You know, I could see the cover wasn't really good in the video, as Dave pointed out. But they said the record's about VG Plus, which is not. But for $80. And now this is, I had the opportunity to buy it for around that price years ago with in nice shape. I didn't, obviously. Now, records in this condition, the asking price, whether they get it or not, is like $250 for VG copies. So I decided for $80, I'm in. Now, the sleeve is definitely not great, but the record, it's not the VG Plus, it's probably definitely VG, could be below, but it plays nice. It is nice. This is like the second label where the Impulse and ABC are not attached. Any question, in any case, it sounds fantastic. It sounds great. Of course, I'll look for another copy of this to upgrade, but I don't see it happening soon unless things come back down to normal in 2021. People pay the normal prices for jazz records again. Probably not happening anytime soon. But in any case, this is a great player. I'm really happy with it. Super, super stoked to have it. Thanks again, Dave, for pointing it out. Okay, this next one I actually got a bunch of months ago, earlier in the year, and it's on the Mainstream label. I've been trying to collect Mainstream for a while. This is one of the tougher ones to get, and this is listed as a VG copy, but it was a bit, they were a little bit conservative on that. So I ended up getting this for a very nice, very fair price. The Growing Concern. This is folk rock, psychedelic folk rock on the Mainstream label. The sleeve, you can see, has got some definitely browning, some boxing, a little bit of writing on the back or the circle. But I just love, as many of you may know, the Psych, sort of in the press releases on the back, or the notes. The Growing Concern is a new group on the music scene. Blah, blah, blah. They are young, vital, and enthusiastic. The Growing Concern is made up of 5 boys and 2 girls who complement each other beautifully. Each selection they perform is a refreshing new musical experience. It's always like that. My favorite. The Growing Concern says it's strong, clean, and powerful, and they'll leave you with no doubt as to why this group is aptly called The Growing Concern. Very bad. Like every single time it sounds about the same. And I like that they circled a single. In any case, this is great folky, psychedelic rock with, a lot of good vocal harmonies. Not top shelf. This won't make my best Psych of all time, which I'm working on. It's going to be a top 100, by the way, because I'm encompassing everything. Every country, every subgenre. In any case. On the Mainstream label. I'll show you the labels real quick. The record was graded as VG. I will give it a VG+. It's pretty nice. Very nice. Cleaned up well. Sounds great. Growing Concern. One and only album for Mainstream. Alright. Another big mega want. A Grail. Mighty Baby. Some prog-like symptoms. Some proggy psychedelia. But definitely more on the psych end. This is the first album. Their second album is actually much rarer. This is the US edition on Head. It was also on Head in the UK. And this band came out of the group, The Action. Great garage group. Where I have compilation of their singles and whatnot. 45s. That's fantastic. Called Rolled Gold. You may know that. This is definitely stretches out and gets heavy duty. A little bit of hard rock. A little bit of prog, but stays in the Psych pocket. On the Head label. Big time want for me. I've been keeping my eye out for this for a couple of years. And Angry Mom, George, he got a copy of it, and he was showing it off, and since then, I've been on the lookout. This is a VG Plus record. That's what I bought it as, and that's what I'll grade. The sleeve does show somewhere. I'm keeping it in my crystal clear sleeve here, but it is nice. Oh, the shoulder gatefold is nice as well. The cover is sort of this weird lizard demon guy. I don't know. Nice gatefold. Mighty Baby. And yeah, this is just the self-titled album. The second album is called, it's like a Jug of Love, I think it is, or something like that. Some spyware here, but ultimately a nice copy of a great progadelic record. Okay, the next record. So back when I talked about the Angry Mom Jazz Auction, all the avant-garde spiritual free jazz, I teased that there was one record that I wanted right away when I saw it. Everything else I sort of had to come around to and did some research. But there was one record I wanted the most, and that was the one that our fearless leader George, you know, his shop and all, he gets obviously first pick on things. That was the one record that he decided to keep. At that point I decided to pull a trigger, and I found a guy selling it who actually had a relationship with this artist, and he, you know, going back and forth on Discogs offline, he ended up giving me a nice price for it. He ended up, you know, going through and, you know, accepting an offer just because, you know, I talked with him, and, you know, I wasn't trying to talk him down, but he just started telling me stories about him and how he knew him. And anyway, it's this fantastic, way out there, Sonny Chirac, Evil Woman, Linda Chirac also, of course, singing on this record. If you don't know this record, it's hard to call it a jazz record. It's on the experimental imprint for the Atlantic group Vortex. A lot of really great records on there. The Zalwimel record, by Lancaster, a few others. This is a great little sub-label. And this thing, it's really more of a psychedelic rock, or experimental rock, or fusion. Yeah, I guess it's fusion, but Linda Chirac on this just loses it, goes ballistic in the best possible way. This is just fire. Big time fire. So many interesting tracks, like just what is happening, you know, Chirac playing guitar. He's just doing his own thing. It is like nothing else. The track Blind Willie, like, that you would be hard pressed to figure out why that's on there, in a sense. It doesn't sound like it's an instrumental, it doesn't sound like jazz, it doesn't sound like rock, it doesn't sound like folk, it's just its own thing. So this is the one that I was like, right away I was like, oh, I'm getting that. Not so fast. In any case, I'm fine, because this is a nice copy. It's a demonstration on the stamp on the back. It's not a promo though. But talking with the guy, a Polish dealer, he had a relationship with Sonny Chirac. And so I presume, I mean, this came from Sonny Chirac himself? I mean, I guess it must have, right? I mean, in some respect. So, love this album. Played it a whole bunch. It kills, it wails. Sonny Chirac, Evil Woman. Big time Mega Want. It's here. Alright, next to a bit of a shout out to a store, and a friend of the store, a friend of mine, Chris, who runs Hudson Valley Vinyl. He hooked me up with these next two records. The first one is the most recent, and the second one I'll tell you a little bit more about. First one, he just shows records on Instagram. I saw it. I asked him, direct message. He gave me a good deal, and so I jumped on it. This one I already have a reissue of. Lincoln Street Exit, Native American group on mainstream again. Top rate, sort of acid fried Psych. A little sometimes some blues licks on it. This is a white label promo. WONY, I believe that's the Oneonta station, which is not far from me here. So nice white label, mainstream, near mint. That was why I really went for this. Beautiful shit. Listen to this one twice now. It rips. The sleeve is a VG sleeve. With any radio station copy, you're going to kind of see that. But look how vibrant the color is still. Definitely some wear along the edge. You'll see on the back there, you get your WONY, typical radio station sticker there. But the sleeve is intact. It's nice. It's a nice VG, I think. And got it below its selling value right now, so super thrilled to get it. I've crossed up a bunch of mainstreams this year, and this was one of the ones I was definitely after. I do have a reissue. Look at the difference in the color. There's the reissue. It's like a Scorpio. I found this at a Half Price Books in Virginia on a road trip. I was pretty happy to find it because it was inexpensive. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you can't get this anymore. But in any case, I'll be selling this, of course. Look at the difference there. So that huge shout out to Chris on that Hudson Valley Vinyl, which is in Beacon, New York, not too far from here, about 3 hours from Ithaca. It's a great store. I actually only know that from looking and seeing what he posts. I've actually not stepped in the store, which is sort of, I haven't been through there. Every time I've been visiting, going downstate to visit the city in New York and Long Island, I'm seeing family on a strict sort of deadline. I think this store is about 3 years old now, so maybe it's longer. So I gotta get down there. This next one, he also hooked me up with. He told me he had a copy of it, and I couldn't believe when he told me the price on it. I was like, oh, that's awesome. I was like, wow, I never thought I'd own an original. And July, self-titled. This is the US on Epic. This is one of my absolute favorite Psych records. Easily will make my best Psych ever. Top 100 Psych. It's a UK band and one of the more cutting-edge records that was out there at the time, 1968. And he gave me this below what it sells for the lowest price on Discogs, so super stoked. It's about a VG plus, maybe the sleeve is a little bit below that. It's nice though. Look how vibrant the color again. There's an old demonstration sticker on the back and some writing. And on the yellow Epic label, stereo copy. It was on the major minor label in the UK. Impossibly rare to find those, so this record, this one's gotten really tough to get and gotten very high in price and value, so just a classic psychedelic sleeve. It has the song Dandelion Siege, which is one of the all-time great psychedelic tracks with really interesting production to it. The rest of the songs are sort of like in the pop psych mold, but with really great harmony, sort of good songwriting. It's almost as good as the Kaleidoscope UK record. It's right there. A little progressive at times, whimsical. This is just top-rate UK psych, and can't believe I have a copy. I was like, I'll never see this. I've never seen the copy. First time I've seen it. So, and again, here's my reissue, which I'll be selling. This is like the colored splatter. What a difference in color. Of course, this is still in the sleeve, but still. Look how vibrant. Reissue. Not quite as vibrant. So, huge thanks again, Hudson Valley Vinyl. I'll put a link to the Instagram and I guess it's just Instagram. I don't know if he has a website. He must have a website, but I'll put a link to Hudson Valley Vinyl below. And the last record, another one I had a reissue of, and this was the big honker of the bunch. Another Psych record. Many call this one of the best Psych records, bar none, any country, any time period. I would agree. This is a merging of hard rock, yes, straight Psych, progressive, sort of, it gets a little bit sort of Hawkwindy at times, slightly folky, great songwriting, really good guitar sound, interesting guitar sound, not relying on blues rock or blues riffs, which I'm not a fan of. And it's also, I've seen in person at a record show a copy. I've never seen a copy like this, and the copies I've seen sell for ridiculous amounts. Were not as nice shape with this one, and it has an insert. So with this seller, again, talk to them offline, off Discogs. I'm like, what would you accept for this? What would you take? Would you work out any trade? Worked out a deal, wheeled and dealed. Found some money, got some money here, traded in some records, cash, for cash and whatnot. Make a long story short, I made it work. It is the Morgan on ABC Pro. Wow, I wanted this one. The Sunbeam reissue as well. You can see the difference in the covers here. This I'm going to probably keep because it has an additional... It comes with a CD of like unreleased music that was never released before. And it's gone up in value too. That's over like $100 now too. But this on ABC Probe, 1969 I believe it was. I got to take it out of the sleeve here just to show you. It's in the shrink still. I cannot take it out of the shrink. And it's a gatefold, which I can't stand shrink on gatefolds, but I have to keep it. It is just immaculate. You got your promo stamp there. So the gatefold is just Morgan written out in black. So I will not be seeing that anytime soon. However, this has an insert. I don't know how many copies you see with the insert, but there you have it. The Morgan insert. Fucking kill her. I love it. Super stoked. Look how cool that is. Oh, I have it upside down. I'm a dummy. Get your ABC Probe there. This insert is like unseen. I think it's on the inside gatefold of the reissue. And the record is also super clean. It's a near mint copy. So I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I want a beautiful copy of it, and I got one. So knocking out, checking boxes and clicking tabs or whatever. Morgan in the books. I've seen other people. It seemed like every VC member showed it. All the serious Psych heads, anyway. Dan Dotson Loops. I know, like Matt Sands and Mr. Psych Professor. That you guys have copies. What the hell? I don't know. Yeah, I've seen someone else show one, but hell yeah. Fantastic Psych record too. So good. I've played this 3 or 4 times. Blows away the reissue. Just great. I mean, these are all big time ones too because they're great records. Not just because I'm like, oh man, I gotta cover these rare jazz and Psych records. I mean, I know that happens for people, but I'm playing these puppies. These sound great. So that is it. Those are my mega wants now fulfilled and found this year. So it's interesting. I've been popping and walking, and I've been sort of coming upon Psych records that I've wanted over the years, even though I'm sort of shifting into other styles and different record collecting corners, you know. So as I'm finding those things, I'm sort of like also moving aside and not moving away from the Psych, but just expanding what I'm into, because I've had small pockets of genres and subgenres, and now I'm sort of, you know, letting those flourish a bit. So in any case, there we go. There's the Grail video. I know it's a little obnoxious, but I thought you folks would like to see those records. Big time wants fulfilled. Thanks again, everyone. Thanks for checking out. Thanks again to Chris Hudson Valley Vinyl. I'll leave links below to that. I'll leave links to my new radio show. I was back live in the studio tonight. Got that done. Hope everyone's well out there and being good, and starting to get out there traveling. It seems like the travel bug's hitting people, and it's hitting me. So I'm going to get out there. Thanks again, folks. More to come. Take care.